this is not gonna be a long live stream. This is just pretty much to give you an update of what I'm working on and stuff like that. So pretty much what I've been doing and I've been working on for the past few months is that I've been working on this comic book. This is going to be issue 2 for Rebel Defenders. That's my own thing, my IP. This is my world, my character, all that good stuff. So, if this is the first time you're finding out or checking this out, this is what I've been working on. I already have issue 1 out. It's digital and you can find it on rebeldefenders.com. So make sure to check that out if you haven't. Again, if you like dark, gritty, you know, hardcore, not to the point where it's like extreme, but you just like good entertainment and stuff like that. That's what I'm bringing and that's what I'm cooking with this comic book. And it's just a fun project that I've been working on, and I'm surprised that I'm actually going to issue 2. I'm already going to issue 3, and the story's starting to finally pick up and build up, which is a good thing. And that's what I'm just pretty much focused on right now. And overall, that's just what I want to bring with this story. It is a new universe, a new type of character. So I know in the beginning, people are going to be like, they're going to be skeptical about this character and things like that. So as things progress and things move forward, like everything, it'll start picking up in the sense of, story wise and all that good stuff. This is, again, like I said, it's going to be like a dark, gritty type of comic with a where everything has a consequence and everything is depending on the actions and things like that. And again, this hero has to make decisions, and he just believes in he has to do something, to defend and fight, for what he feels that he needs to do. Many of us can relate to that in the sense of probably you have your ways set and what you believe in and what you think is right and wrong. And nobody's here to judge or anything, but in this story, like I said, our character, our hero, if you want to say, he has to do what's necessary in whatever situation he's facing. And so far, honestly, I'm liking what's coming together with this story and stuff like that. And it's slowly building, but it's actually, staying, rooted, grounded. And that's what I'm trying to build a foundation. So when you, as the reader, as the audience gets to see this and get to read it and stuff like that, I'm coming more of a, like, I guess, like, as a movie standpoint, with the storyboards and stuff like that. And you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. And like I said, this character, he just has to do because he feels that it's necessary to do what he's doing. And in today's world, the only thing I could say is, aren't we all tired of the injustice? And sometimes it just takes a little courage. You got to stand up and what you believe in, and that's what this character is about. This character, like I said, the rebel defender. This dude is straight up like he doesn't mess around. And I want to have this character where yes, he's inspired by a lot of heroes in a lot of ways, and he's just like one of us. It's just the person who's under that mask, that cowl, that helmet, whatever you want to call it. This dude is straight up like there's gonna be situations that he's gonna be faced, whether he takes out a villain, he takes out a enemy, and it's just gonna be like, okay, he's doing what he has to do. Like, this character isn't gonna be like, yo, let's talk about this, let's joke around. Nah, this character is gonna be, he's dark and gritty, because of what he's facing and what he's going, around this criminal world, if you want to say. This dude's straight up kicking ass, and it's building. Like I said, issue 2 is going to have, it's gonna it's gonna, I want you as the reader to explore more who the main character is, why he's doing what he's doing. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, the main hero, this dude, he's a doctor. So he likes helping people, but at the same time, he's getting tired of this whole corporate world. This dude is like, yo, there's so much injustice, there's so much scumbags in it. So he's already getting fed up with it. And the constant cases that he's getting, is like, yo, something has to be done. Like, the law ain't doing nothing. He feels that he has to take some part of it into his hands. And that, again, is what's gonna, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper in it, in the story, where this character is like, okay, I have to do it, because if I don't do it, nobody's gonna step up. He's not a coward. He's straight up, he's just like, I'm done with it. And that's what he's doing. He's taking matters into his own hands. He's not the law, but he does feel that he needs to do something about it. And that's what I'm bringing with this story. And as he keeps on facing these criminals and all these goons and all these lunatics, because that's literally what he's facing, all these lunatics, like, shit's gonna get twisted, and it's already getting twisted. I'm telling you. If you've already read the first issue, like towards the end, it's starting to build up. Now in the second one, it continues. It literally continues from where the first issue ended, and from there, we're gonna start getting into who this villain is and why he wants to do what he wants to do. And like I said, it's just opening the door to all these lunatics that they're all straight up just psychotic. Like they all have their ways. Some you won't even expect that they've been there all along. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, in the end, I'm just bringing y'all something that's gonna be again original, different, gritty. It's gonna be gritty. This is not like a PG-13. This is it has its scenes where it's gonna be like, yo, like they're going at it, and it has to be done. And I know some people are probably gonna see this. They're gonna be like, damn, this is a little controversial just because where it's taking place and why it's taking place. But that's how I want the story to be. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, this is fantasy land. Nah, like I want to have this world where, okay, this is what shit's going down in this universe, and I want that to be here, where it's gonna be dark in the sense of, yo, like, okay, this character is doing what he has to do, like, and there's like pretty much whatever actions he does, it's gonna have a consequence, whether it's now, later, or sometime in the future. And all of that is just connecting. Like I said, it's gonna work out right. So far, it's looking good. Everything's picking up. I like how things are going so far. And like I said, I want to show y'all, but I can't show y'all yet just because I'm still working on it and things like that. I do have, like I said, I'm working right now. I'm finalizing the last few pages. And like I said, I said this a while ago that I was having a writer's block back in like November and December. So that delayed me a little bit. And it's not easy. It's not easy coming up with a story, coming up with the storyboards with all of this and stuff like that. And, but here we are. That's all that matters. Issue 2 does drop out this week. It comes out on Friday. So it should be, everything should be as scheduled and stuff like that. And then issue 3 is already in the works. So as I'm finishing this one, I'm already continuing to go into issue 3. So again, this is just it's just continuing. It's just expanding more of what this world is about and stuff like that. And I'm excited. I'm excited to bring it to y'all. And to everybody that's been showing the support and stuff like that. They got the first one. The second one is also going to be fun. I'm adding some more action. Again, it leaves it in the cliffhanger just because it's gonna pick up again in issue 3 and stuff like that. So that's something that I want to bring to y'all so y'all can enjoy. And to the ones that are reading and seeing what's going on in the story, to appreciate, just because like I said, it's gonna be something much more grittier, and it's a little bit much more darker, and now we're starting to step into that, and it's gonna explain to you, it connects into the first issue, and it's explaining what's going on with the second one while already opening up to the third one. So like I said, I'm giving you different point of views, and it's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. And I can't wait. I can't wait. It's been a lot of work for this issue, and here we are. Here we are. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Honestly, like it's a lot of work, but I've been talking with some other artists and stuff like that, and because it's already getting to the point where I can't keep up with it, and this is why y'all see that I'm not really doing a lot of YouTubes lately, just because I've been so occupied with this. Like sometimes I'll be like, all right, do I do a video or do I go ahead and keep on working on the comic? And I'll be honest with you, I can't balance all of it. It's really, really tough lately, just because, just coming up again with stories and things that have to do for this, the backstory, the characters, the who, the when, the why, all that stuff, it all takes time. And then doing YouTube videos with that, the rendering takes so long, and it is what it is, and then again, like I said, lately there's not really a lot of big updates. It's just pretty much the same thing that's just floating around the internet and stuff like that. There hasn't been anything wild to really talk about like that. But that's why, like I said, I'm working on this because I do have big plans, and like I told y'all, in late 2025, I do have some other plans that I'm going to be taking this, and I want to push forward with this. I will be bringing y'all some side stories that I'm also working on, things like that, so y'all can enjoy it and watch those for free. Those are going to be on YouTube and stuff soon. So I am working on it. Like I said, it's just taking time to get everything right and be able to assemble and put everything together, because it's time consuming, but like I said, in the end, it's gonna be a fun project. Y'all gonna enjoy it. Overall, it's gonna be very entertaining, which is the point, and that's what I'm trying to put out there, just so everybody can enjoy. And again, I know that this comic book is not gonna be for everybody. So if you're looking for comedy, you're looking for something like family friendly, and you're looking for something, this is not it. This is not it. This is for mature type of readers, people that enjoy that gritty, dark, in the sense of more serious, and it's a more, it's just a more serious tone. And not that it's just going to be a serious universe, but for the events that are going on and the things that are taking place in this story, it works, and that's how I want to keep it. Like, I don't want to have it like it's jokes and it's silly and stuff like that, but just, it's just for now and stuff like that. For now, it's just going to be black and white until I get time so I can add some color. I am looking into bringing some physical limited run of this issue, the first one and the second one. So I'm looking around and stuff like that. I've already found a good printing deal, and once that's already sorted for me and stuff like that with the shipping costs and stuff like that, that way I could bring it to y'all, because I'm trying to give y'all something good for like a real cheap price and stuff like that. Because I know it's crazy. Everything is right now wild with we're coming up with prices, and like I'm not about that. This is why I'm telling y'all, if you can support it right now, that is digital, that's gonna all go towards once I'll be able to pull out and put a physical, so I could bring y'all that and stuff like that. Again, like I said, this is just right now black and white. I do have the colors, and I do have the main character, this dude right here. So he already has color, and I'll be showing y'all that real soon and stuff like that. Not today, but I'm gonna probably show y'all and reveal it this week, so y'all can see the final product, what he's gonna finally look like and stuff like that. So this should be something good, and I can't wait to finally release it this week so y'all can enjoy it, and we could be able to talk about it and stuff like that. But again, I just said this was gonna be a quick update, nothing crazy. I am gonna be doing some more updates and videos and stuff like this. So once all this is done, then I can relax a little bit. Then I can go back to like making more YouTube videos and stuff like that. But this has kept me very occupied lately, and like I said, trying to meet the deadline, trying to bring everything to y'all in a timely manner. This is what I've been working on like the past 4 months, and like I said, it's it's been a lot of work, but here we are, and like I said, Friday it should be out as planned. If time, of course, permits and everything goes accordingly, which so far we're looking on track and things like that. But again, like I said, we're gonna see what these characters are about. The main villain, I gave you all a little quick glimpse of it on the what do you call this, on YouTube, where I posted on the what is it, on the regular posts. The dude's like he's a clown, but you're gonna see why, and what leads him to do the acts and stuff like that. So again, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun for y'all. It's gonna be something different, like I said, and issue two. This is where we're heading to. Issue three is already being worked on. So as soon as I'm done with this one, boom, I'm going into the third one. So again, I don't sit there and plan. It just comes to me, and so far it's good. So I've already presented it to like a few people. I presented to my girlfriend, and she was like, "Yo, this is actually solid." So that's it's just telling you. So I'm excited. I can't wait. And like I said, um, I will be doing some more YouTube videos and stuff like that. But again, this is what I'm busy with for this whole week. And I'll bring y'all some more updates as we get closer and all that stuff. So, till then, keep posted. I said this was going to be a quick update. This wasn't going to be like a long stream and stuff like that. And then I might do something later on, probably later on tonight, just talking about, the regular content we talk about and stuff like that. But this was just a quick update so y'all can see and stuff like that. So I'm gonna check y'all out on the next one, because I'm gonna keep on drawing, trying to finish this up, and keep posted. Till later.